Nearly a flawless T-half. NaVi have dusted off the likes of the X-Space Soldiers as we take a look at Dust 2 in a little bit more depth here. With me, of course, is the Spud himself, hailing all the way from that one continent that's seemingly out there by themselves, Australia.
Also not real.
Yeah, that's on your own accord. In fact, I have also watched the sci-fi specials that say that Australia is not real. But what is real is the score. Wow, the scoreline, Chad. This was not necessarily a beautiful showing from the Space Soldiers.
Well, here's the thing, right? We painted, or at least I did, the fact that NaVi on their CT side, that they're not necessarily known for putting up too many rounds. Here, well and truly par for the course of that first half, man. 7 on the board, you have to be pretty happy with that. I think within the streak they had towards the end there, something that's really important to know is Electronic had impact in, I think it was 3 out of the 4 rounds they were able to string together towards the end of the first half. So big props to Electronic, who we know can be a star. And then we flipped on over. There was a couple of rounds that I really wanted to highlight here, but this is the situation. I'm going to keep talking about it, Trace, because we've opened that can of worms now.
Wow.
Is this money situation for the CT side. If people want a real talk about what the problem with the economy game is, it's the CT side's getting reset time and time again. I'm going to deep dive. I'm going to go hard on this, bro. This is not even related to this game, but I'm going to sit there and do a bunch of statistic research so I can prove a point, because I'm fed up of us finding ourselves in a position where we're complaining about the wrong things.
Chad, it's only human to complain about everything, if not the wrong things.
Everybody loves to complain, that is true. But look, I think in this one, you know, obviously, if you have a quick look at the statistics, we did have all 3 of that star trio, Flamey, Simple, and Electronic towards the top. That is the best formula for NaVi. That is a title-winning Natus Vincere right there. As long as that trio are being set up by the supportive players of Edward and Zeus, they're doing the right stuff. Even on their T side, man, they were getting it done. You have to think about the approach to the rounds. They were getting map control. They were forcing utility usage out. Even in this round, right, oh, it wasn't this round here. There was a round that Edward had to clutch 1v3. It did come down to that 1-on-3 situation, but the way that they played it before we got to that point was hugely, I wanted to say integral, but that's the wrong word. I think they played it perfectly, right? They were able to keep 3 players on us over towards A, do a B split, and trade out over there. They just played the post plan a little bit lazily.
Well, would have been a totally different ballgame if you look at the first half. I mean, it wasn't necessarily that NaVi grabbed a tremendous starting in this game. I believe it ended some 8-7 half, right? So,
yeah.
What happened in the first half that kept them on their toes?
Kept NaVi on their toes in the first half. Well, look, I think that we do need to keep talking about the way that the economy can be snowballed here. We saw NaVi win the pistol, right? I'm going to talk about this again. This is not obviously just on the money situation, but this is how the scenario unfolded. They won the pistol, right? They had to invest heavily in M4s in that second round. They lost 2 guns in that second round, then they move into the third against full AKs and utility where the buy is actually better. From there, they go into the next, they get reset down to $1,400, and then they have to start all over again. This is really just delaying what we'd normally see. Normally within the first 4 rounds of a Counter-Strike match, Trace, this has been par for the course on what's been happening recently. Let's say, for example, the CTs lose pistol. I would say in probably about 75% of occasions, we're going to see one of 2 options happen. The CTs are either going, actually more than 75, in 80-90% of occasions, we're going to see the CTs either go for a full invest on everything that they have and force buy out, or they're going to go for a light pistol upgrade, maybe a deagle on someone who got some kills, maybe P250s for everybody else. They have a relatively competitive round, right? They spread across the board. They try and be competitive, keep that economy down. Then they're either going to take just a light pistol upgrade in the third or a full eco in the third, and then we're going to get the 4th round as a full gun round, right? So you can potentially get, in a game of Counter-Strike before this change, 4 competitive rounds of Counter-Strike. Now, you're getting, if you do that, you're getting the first one, yeah, pretty competitive. The second one can be a rough ride because the T's are going to full eco. And then the third one, you know, if the T's win in this same scenario, it resets the CTs and they have to go for a full eco or force buy again. So it's just changing the order of the way that these rounds will play out. It isn't actually affecting and making the game any better.
Well, we could talk about rough rides, and I think to do that, we have to have the 2 rough riders themselves, and Harry and Hugo in here to join us. Of course, we're going into a second map here, so there's just a little bit of a story of redemption for the X-Space Soldiers as they look to take Mirage now in their hands, and hopefully it isn't necessarily the flattest of showings in the second half like we just saw.
Man, hold up, sorry, I just got some breaking news coming in. This is for everybody here, just so everyone can hear this one out. Did you guys hear in the news about the kidnapping at the school around the corner?
Oh, here we go.
No. Yeah, sure.
Well, it's all fine. The kid was just sleeping.
Is this a dad joke or
was it a dad joke? Because it, I don't know.
Let's
get an official weigh in here.
Oh God!
Yeah,
it was a kidnapping.
Harry, out of 10, what do you give this one?
like a 3.
When you have to
Nice.
explain the joke, it's not good.
Chad?
I screwed up the punchline. It should have been, it's okay, the kid woke up.
Yeah, I think no matter how you point that one, you couldn't have. You have to like hit a little more wordsmithy stuff there. It's kind of like, why couldn't the bicycle stand by itself? Because it was too tired, Chad. Obviously, that one didn't need much explanation. Now, was that better than a 3, Harry?
It's all about the delivery.
Yeah, that was like a 6.
Here's
That's
the
like a
thing.
double.
They're
How about
scared of
this?
you because you punch harder than me.
That's not true. And enough of this nonsense, enough of the tomfoolery, which is Chad's dad jokes.com. You can head over there on your own time. Let's talk about Mirage, guys. That's what we have here. And let's kick it off here with something of serious analytical quality. Tell me how this map's going to go, Chad.
This one's going to be a closer affair. I think you're going to get more out of both teams. It can be a lot scrappier. Force buys in certain scenarios are going to pay dividends, and I don't see teams getting reset. Trace, Stunner, Saranthus, the third.
We're going to reset it here, and you almost nailed that name. Let's just leave it where it is, Chad. You know the line. Let's not walk it together. Let's walk it right over here to these two, Hugo and Harry, who will be taking over this entire broadcast right now as I exit the room.
Like, he's literally walking out.
Yeah.
While he's
done.
saying that.
He's unhinged.
Oh,
but,
he's forgot something.
We're ready to head into this one, Hugo. I'm certainly ready. And you know what I'm feeling, Hugo? I'm not feeling excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to put a downer on it right before
Well,
the
you
game.
know, I didn't want to go. I'm feeling, I don't know, something else. What's like a, I don't know. I've really nailed this, haven't I? But I'm looking forward to this, Hugo. Space Soldiers are going to be kicking things off over on this CT side. And a shot of redemption after that comeback from NaVi on Dust 2. And we're going to see early on at NaVi stacking all 5 players over here towards ramp. Ready to go pushing on in towards this A bomb site where, Engine's there. He's got ahead and landed a keen shot downrange. They're not ready for major. He's currently behind triple. He's going to find a quick, oh, baby, a triple. Never mind, he's got ahead and lived up to the name. Gets himself 3. It is just Electronic left alive. 1v5. Does manage the first, but the bomb's down and out in the open. He's still got so much left to do.
Tall order for Electronic, and well, he's not kind of going to be sold short by Calix. Finished off there. I think one important factor, like kind of Chad just mentioned before they abruptly walked out of the room, was these force buys, these pistol rounds, for example. Because, again, when we look at that previous map, when we look at Dust 2, very, very difficult to win pistol rounds, especially on that T side where, you know, you can't necessarily choose the range of engagements, lots of long hallways, lots of long positions. There's a position literally called long, just to add to that. So force buys and pistol rounds on Mirage, far more successful. However, not when you go for full Glocks. NaVi not deciding to force buy, and that was one of our questions. Will we see this from this team? And no, they've decided for that full eco. The 3rd round buy. And that really just does seem like the go-to at the moment. I don't blame them. You want to get that buy in a round earlier. Most of these teams are used to the 4th round buy. Now they get gifted with a 3rd. That's like a Christmas comes early here, but instead it's Halloween because Antares is painting blood on the halls of the middle area. He's got out with a pistol and finished it off. Wow, that's a great sentence. 3 kills for him, 2 for Major, and a double round on the board for Space Soldiers.
Deck those halls with the bowels of NaVi. That's going to be Space Soldiers picking up their second round. I figured I'd run with your kind of Christmas Halloween crossover episode.
I like that.
You know, that's the holiday I think we should all be celebrating.
Which one? Christmas, Halloween?
Yeah,
Everyone's
Christmas theme.
favourite combination.
It is the best one. It's like spooky but festive. That's the best way I can
that's what I
describe
want.
it. But here's NaVi trying to take control of the mid. This is spooky but festive. They've thrown in a bit of a gift for us, but also a bit of a jump scare as well as they're rushing in through lower tunnels. Going to try and surprise your man Antares over here in Connector.
Oh, a bit boost up on short as well. We've got a nice angle. Calix is going to get a frag from it. And Antares, lots of damage in mid, but he gets traded straight away. So NaVi keeping things equal. Problem is they have 3 players on 50 HP or lower, so that's going to make things very, very difficult, as well as the fact that Electronic has just crept through that smoke. Major's on the other side, and while that may fade, leaving Electronic open, he is really deep, deep, deep in the jungle. Looking to join Tarzan in the ranks. He's going to be able to find Major as that smoke fades. And now the A site looking very vulnerable. There's only Engine here with the MP5, but Calix, alone on the back of the B bomb site, is about to meet his maker, or makers, because NaVi, 2 players pushing in through this B apartment. And he's got a call for this rotate. It's got to come soon as well. Zeus spots it. There's a kill for Calix. He can at least delay this push back in. And he knows the Simple's here as well, but Simple will get the kill. Now only just Engine alive, and while he's got a kit to work with, he's also got a 1v2.
it's a very, very tall order here for Engine. He's going to get flashed. Oh, that's an awkward fight. Somehow he's won it versus Simple. We don't see Simple miss shots very often.
No.
And certainly not in that fashion. Engine's very, very lucky there to get anything done. But regardless, NaVi still finding themselves that first buy round. They're going to go ahead and now reset the economy of Space Soldiers. And this is one thing like I'm still unsure about now with, okay, they're going to go for the buy. I can respect it. They managed to get a pretty decent one in. But this is one thing that concerns me, Hugo, about this economy update, right? You look at this, NaVi have had that buy. And Space Soldiers, if you recall, they keep 4 players alive in that first anti-eco. And they're only anti-eco, right? That's, you know, almost as flawless as you can get. And they're still brought down to this sort of buy the second that they lose that first rifle round. Yeah. So,
I mean, it's back to Train. We saw this earlier where the CTs got a lot of damage. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was Train, where the CTs were down to 1 player surviving one of the rounds they won on the second. And then, boom, instantly were crippled the second the T's won that first buy round. It is really proving to be a bit of a problem. And I'm sure we'll have teams work out how to work around this potentially as time goes on and people, you know, realize what is the correct buy now. Can we default to the second round M4? Should we be playing bonus? Is that going to be more of a meta, like just running a lot of early CT aggressive SMG rounds? Mirage is a map that does allow a lot of aggression on in terms of, you know, early pushes down mid. We've started to see Astralis utilize those top mid smokes as well. Try and cut T's out of taking initial mid control and setting up a CT behind the boxes. Or even if you don't, just delaying the T's enough that they start questioning other points of the map. But for now, as you say, this buy is far from perfect for Space Soldiers. Xantara is the only man with an M4 that's not Paz, well, because he's still alive. Xantara is going to go down, and there we go. 2 M4s are gone within seconds. There's still a man under balcony here, but he's going to have a lot to do and not a lot of life to do it with. Only Calyx left. He's coming up from short. We'll have the element of surprise for 1, but there's still 2 players left in the bomb down.
yeah, he's got the element of surprise, but Simple has the element of fire. That's what he's spitting right now as he goes ahead and picks that up. 2-2, all tied up here in the server, Hugo. And now there's no money left for the ex-Space Soldiers over on this CT side. This is a chance for NaVi to start to pull ahead early on here.
Big old full eco. And that's the thing, we're again, day 1, right, of this new economy, well, at least in Pro League, new economy system. And we are seeing a lot of full ecos, even not unnecessarily rounds where teams would always full eco. I just feel like everyone's always on the edge of reset. Even look at NaVi here. They're on the edge of reset. This is it's changed quite a lot. So again, flat USPs, literally no investment here from Space Soldiers. NaVi, a 3rd round on the horizon as long as they play their cards right, and NaVi have plenty of tricks, so this shouldn't be a problem. Xantara is going to be alone on the connector. He just moves at the worst timing possible because now they're inside the connector and also up on short. They could walk into this B stack, but with Xantara's herd rotating, NaVi going to get gifted a lot of control up towards A. Engine's here in the deep CT spawn as well, but they're going to start to push onto his position. Electronic should be able to spot this pretty quickly, and just like that, this bomb's going down, and any chance of Space Soldiers winning the round has been removed.
Yeah, we did only have those vanilla pistols heading into it, but we've seen these rounds get a little bit close with just the USPs. This time around, it's not meant to be. A NaVi picking up their 3rd, looking to try and keep things flawless as well, hoping to be able to build up some of that economy, something that we kind of talk about these teams lacking right now. Looks like they're going to be allowed to get away with exactly that. Space Soldiers can at least take solace in the fact that they have a buy coming in this next round, a chance to start to turn things back around here on Mirage.
Hey, despite NaVi running AKs there with only 1 SMG, Space Soldiers not wanting to give any kill bonus, kill reward money the way of NaVi, keeping those USPs intact. And here we go. Here's the first AUG of the day, Harry. Xantara is pulling it out into this buy round for Space Soldiers. We've seen a couple of SGs here and there, but the AUG is a whole different beast, and Xantara is going to be putting that aggressively into middle. This is not the kind of gun that you should be rushing up top mid with. If he can post himself up behind this box, maybe it'll be useful, and that smoke is going to allow for him to just set up here on short. kept Na'Vi out of this position, and may just even dropped one player down on that B bomb site as well. Electronic is still pushed up, but Na'Vi are looking for the fast split up through short. That smoke, however, has denied them complete control towards middle, and as a result, while they had these players pushed down into the B apartments ready to dive into this site, the other players up on mid, they weren't able to get into position. So nice work from Space Soldiers, directly countering there the setup from Na'Vi. Now back into a 4-on-4. Na'Vi just going to opt to burst this B bomb site with sheer aggression. Power in numbers here. But look at Xantares. I really want to keep my eyes on him this round in the market.
Yeah, he's got the bullpup, the old Org. He's going to be looking to try and hold down the fort. That said, they've left B. They could feel the immense pressure of running in to the Org. Ooh, Major's not expecting that second man boosted, and there's that trade for Zeus. Now he's got to go toe-to-toe with Xantares. Tries to sneak on out, but Engine's there. Will instantly be traded, courtesy of Flamey. The bomb now looking to go down from CT. Xantares trying to be the savior with the Org in hand. And we get to see, is this worth it? Sadly not, as he gets decapitated by Electronic. There's only Paz left up. We saw Calyx come close to a 1v2 earlier, but it didn't quite happen. Maybe Paz is able to pick up the pieces where his teammate left off and continue this legacy into the 1v1. Very little time left, and Electronic going to keep his cool in the clutch. A 3K for him in that scenario, and Na'Vi picking up a 4th round.
Electronic is styling right now. Look at that scoreboard. 10-3 on him. Everyone else is on 1 or 2 kills, apart from Simple on 4. The Electronic show today, even though he wasn't necessarily the player that stepped up in the previous map, it was Simple and Flamey up that top of the board. 20+ kills per player. Kind of what you would expect. Here for pistols now for Space Soldiers. Not the flat USPs, thank God. They've actually got some chance of doing damage in this round, but Na'Vi are not fearful of any kind of investment. Fast short play will not work out, as Paz has found himself 2 deags down middle. That's completely cut off this push from Na'Vi. They still want to go for the short split, and they might just find the timing as well, because Paz has moved back as Electronic has shuffled into position. That is such good timing, and he's even going to get the kill from it as well. No risk, big reward. Electronic has opened up this B site, and he's even found himself a 2nd kill. This is looking fantastic here for Na'Vi.
Major, actually Xantares, the man to go ahead and pick that up. Electronic falls, and there's Major chiming in with another. Simple is able to go ahead and find one, but he still has Xantares left to contend with. He's been brought down to 22 HP, so the AK going to be worth its weight in gold here. Simple. Spotting out Engine over at short. Now picks up Xantares through that smoke, and they might be Simple, but this round's been anything but thus far. Down to the 1v1, and Engine still yet to be spotted. Simple does manage to find him, sprays him down over towards short, and that will be the 6th round up on the board for Na'Vi, or the 5th round rather. Maybe getting a bit too ahead of myself there.
He just makes it look so easy. Just nice work. Like, he forces the peek up on short. Once he knows that there's a player on short, he knows that Xantares is going to push the market, goes back towards the position that he saw him in the cross earlier, gets him as he exits that smoke. You can see by the spray, he wasn't even ready for Xantares to be there. But hey, a free kill for Simple. He won't turn that down. Winning the 1v3, and Space Soldiers, again, that was a round with pistols. So not the end of the world that they lost it. They can still buy up, but they'll certainly be kicking themselves. That could have been 3-4 scoreline, which would have been very good considering they would have had a lot of money into this round. For now, though, they have the AWP, and that's what matters. On both sides, in fact. Taurus is below that connector smoke as well, so he's got to be very cautious with Simple up on short. We'll just escape, minus the free haircut. And a nice little nade there from Paz to do some slight damage. That makes Edward and Electronic now susceptible to the M4 dinks. That one-shot potential coming through for the Space Soldiers. In fact, this is the slowest round we've seen from Na'Vi yet.
Yeah, an Engine maybe getting a bit antsy, tries to push down through ramp and is going to go ahead and give up that man advantage. Na'Vi now sitting in the driver's seat here in this round. The bomb going to be retrieved and picked up. Now heads on over into middle to rejoin the likes of Edward and the gang. As we saw his Deeg work magic over here towards short in the round prior. Now he's going to try and do all that and more, but then M4. And NaVi sneaking on into connector. He's just going to miss the timing, and all 4 players have made their way in. This A bomb site's come crumbling down around Space Soldiers, and the bomb plant can look to come through. All this misinformation from the Space Soldiers side, and only now, as that penny dropped, the rotation's coming back towards A. Might be too little too late. Major up in the Palace. The difference still yet to be seen, but he could be the difference maker here for Space Soldiers.
They're not even going for this one, though. It's just too risky. They've not got any money left in the bank. They've already been down a man. NaVi have that bomb plant down, and Space Soldiers had to go for the full rotate. I mean, this bomb was already half ticked, and Major's just got into the Palace. So, yeah, it's not a winnable round for Space Soldiers, and NaVi realize it. They're going to begin the hunt as they start to smell blood in the apartments. Something's cooking here, and it's not too good for the Soldiers because NaVi are on this chase, and I don't think they're going to get any kills out of this one. They're not playing too aggressive. But that's still such an awkward round for Space Soldiers. As you said, just misinformation, early rotate off the back of it, and then obviously NaVi just sneak 5 players in through the connector to make matters worse. That's like one of those rounds where everything just lines up for NaVi, because if they walked into that site with 15 seconds left like they did, but Space Soldiers had 2 players there, they lose that round every time. So fantastic work from NaVi. Bit of a tactical timeout here from the Turkish.
Yeah, no, I think, you know, justifiably so, right? We see them find those stray 2 rounds, and other than that, it's, you know, all been coming up the way of NaVi. Quick B-stream update for you guys. It's going to be big. Closing out their first map on Train versus AGO 16-9. So that's always good. A win that really these guys would look to be picking up versus the Poles over on the B stream. So there's still a second map coming there. This one, though, is well and truly underway still. And let's see the fruits of that tactical pause. Are we going to get to see them now from this Space Soldiers CT side, which has looked a little flat thus far? Aggression early on from Edward as NaVi look to try and switch up the pace, barreling on in toward this B bomb site. It's Paz looking to try and help Calyx out, but he gets flashed and caught, falling back in towards the relative safety of that bomb site. Paz tries to flash himself through, but doesn't even make it to the other side of that smoke, and now it is just Centaurez here. He's such a difficult hurdle to overcome, but NaVi wrapping onto him. They're going to go ahead and behead the beast. Now just leaving Major and Engine up, and they're both so far away. It looks like it's going to have to be another save from Space Soldiers.
Yeah, that's such a NaVi round, right? Space Soldiers, they call in a tactical pause. They save 4 guns in the AWP. They have this huge buy. They clearly a game plan. We see early mid taken as well from Space Soldiers. They send a player jumping out through that window, and then NaVi just go, screw it, rush B. I mean, if you have a game plan, if you're Space Soldiers, everything gets uprooted within the first 20 seconds of that round when NaVi are already in the B-bomb site and the plant's now coming through just to seal that deal. NaVi got to be careful here. If they start chasing, they could easily lose this round, but that tag onto Major will send him packing, and he's got a long holiday away with no holiday pay, so NaVi going to be up to 7, and Space Soldiers have really run dry when it comes to this cash. Every save will be worth. In fact, loss bonus is going to kick in, so we could see a buy somewhat around this here for the rest of the Space Soldiers. Paz, Calyx, Centaurus, these players all had money, luckily enough. So as long as these 2 guns get held onto, then things should be all fine and dandy for Space Soldiers. Apart from the scoreline. 7-2 here, Harry. NaVi running away with things. Even with this max loss bonus kicking in for Space Soldiers, they've got to actually do something with it.
Yeah, we saw them get the pistol, we saw them get that 1 anti-eco round, and since then, everything has come up NaVi. I think, you know, even when you take a look at kind of the amount of kills across this NaVi squad, that speaks volumes, right? Because really, there hasn't been all too many. There's Electronic top of the board, Simple just behind him, but the rest of the guys really yet to field anything significant. And that, to me, you know, just suggests there's been a lot of saves, right, from Space Soldiers. We've always seen these scenarios where it's like, no, you know, the 2 guys in B are dead, and everyone else is very far away. So we just have to hold on to what we can.
And look at it again. They're doing the same thing, except this time a little bit slower. They allow Edward to keep some control towards middle, try and make Space Soldiers second guess this, but now with the utility raining in, look at this flank from Edward. He's hearing all the footsteps rotate through jungle. The problem is for NaVi, his Calyx has found 2 kills and dropped the bomb. That's just going to mean that they're more aware of this flank for Space Soldiers. That's a team kill with a Molotov. Not sure how that comes through for Major, why there was a molly on the site. It must have been a fail. Edward's going to catch this rotate from the back, but Major, oh no, he gets away with a kill in through the wall. And Edward, so much potential, so much wastage, because Space Soldiers are back into this round with a, well, I was about to say 4-on-2, 3-on-2 now. NaVi cannot be counted out, especially not with Electronic and Simple left standing.
Oh, maybe this wrap from Engine is enough to secure their fate. Indeed it is. He roars to life, and that will be Space Soldiers finally finding themselves a rifle round here, Hugo. They manage themselves a third. Keep the AWP forward as well. That's going to be Major still donning that. Not opting to move into a double AWP setup on this CT side. That has to be expected with this Space Soldiers squad. They're not the biggest fans of having one AWP most of the time, so 2 is asking for a bit much from them. There is still money here for Simple. 2 Don his, and he's going to go ahead and win out that early fight. The Major, luckily enough, Engine catches a good timing to find the 4-on-4 once again.
Yeah, it was so unfortunate for Flame. He switched weapon right as the peak came through. Should have definitely won that fight alternatively. Zeus comes back towards the ramp, and NaVi could always fall back into this A play. We've not really seen many A attacks so far, but this is such a good push from Engine. Not only does it get information, but it gets a position that NaVi might not expect if they eventually settled into an A play. It even allows him to flank that T spawn. In fact, he'll do exactly that. Will he catch Zeus? Probably not. Zeus has walked into the A site right now, and Simple killing the window player only opens up more control towards this side of the map. Engine needs to double back in through the palace if he wants to try and stop this A bomb plant from going down, as it should be coming in through the connector. Simple spots another player on the B side of the map, and this is only more confirmation bias here for NaVi. This is an empty and open A bomb site. Zeus will make it so. Paz is dead. That bomb's going down, and Engine, he committed to a long wrap that was not the right play to make. Because now with the bomb down, NaVi are almost guaranteed 8.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Hugo, it's going to be another save coming in from the Space Soldiers, boys. No real way for them back in it to this round. NaVi picking themselves up an 8th.
I'd love to see the scoreboard to see how many bomb plants have happened this map. Because I feel like almost every round NaVi have had that bomb down. Quite a lot, yeah. I mean, most of them they win via... Oh yeah, it doesn't say it anymore. Panorama, by the way. I mean, most of these rounds now they've been winning from kills anyway, or like saving players from Space Soldiers. But yeah, we've seen a lot of bomb plants. We see 3 go off this map. Sorry, 4 go off now, including that round, this map. Out of the 8 rounds that NaVi have won, 4 of them have been bomb explosions. I imagine, you know, there's been more bomb plants around that, and you know, kills coming through to finish off the rounds. Space Soldiers have yet to win a retake.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the bigger problem is, you know, you think back to Dust 2 as well. NaVi managed to go 9-1 there on their T side. So only forfeiting 1 round the way of Space Soldiers. This is looking to be a bit... I mean, maybe it's also a sign that the economy changes do benefit the T side. You never know.
I think we already knew that. And just from the way it's been played today, all it's done is benefit the T side. Because CTs have been winning pistols, T's have been ecoing 1 round, and they've been buying up 3rd and then winning it, and by that point crushing the CT economy. And then we've just seen a stomp. Almost every map that has happened today, it's been CT pistol, single eco for T, win a rifle round for T, boom, there's all the money gone for the CT side, all of it. Yeah. And they're down to SMGs or pistols.
Yeah, life comes at you fast, Hugo. But NaVi... They don't. They're taking this round very, very slowly. They have Zeus up here in the palace. The Lightning Prince. I mean, he was a god, but it's good enough.
The Lightning Prince. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
It doesn't, no. But, you know, let's wait and see if he lives up to his nickname.
Oh, that's such an annoying nade. Who nades there? Who nades top balcony?
The Lightning Prince does, mate.
The Lightning Prince. Well, let's see if he can shine to life in this round, because NaVi are bringing that bomb back through the A-bomb site. Well, in through the T-spawn to the A-bomb site. We've got 4 players here almost, if you include Paz, who's in the CT spawn, and that means he's going to have a very quick rotation. And I think they've started to realize this probably isn't a B play. That Molotov does not work. That is going to bounce right back on his face, and that cuts off Zeus's play, but they already knew he was in Palace regardless. Rest of NaVi creeping their way out onto the bomb site. Zeus is dead. The Lightning Prince gets struck down, and Major's upgraded to a big old AK. Engine even firing off as well from the triple box, and now things are starting to get very, very hairy.
But your savior resides in Electronic time and time again. He's been bailing out NaVi, and now he's secured this B bomb site, and he's just going to wait. He hears the rotations. He does manage to drop Zentares. Calyx, that would have been the turning point if he's able to find that last man in, but he's not. So now we're into the 3-on-3. Engine and Major might have started off this round with frags for Space Soldiers. Now they have to try and close it out with kills as well. And already Simple and Edward between them. They've left this all on the back of Engine. And right now, the little Engine that could in a 1v3 over here in the shop, going to start to edge on through that smoke. At this point, he's so hesitant, doesn't even really want to try and go for it. You know, you're on 21 HP, dead in one shot. There's no money left for this CT side. Is he going to try and... Yeah, he doesn't have a kit, so he can't even go for the ninja. So that will be the round. It's going to be a 9th for NaVi. Engine does at least manage to hold on to the M4.
Yeah, this is not looking good right now for Space Soldiers. As you said, 9-1 was their T-side score for NaVi on Dust 2, which again looks very, very worrying, but taking into account their CT side, well, it wasn't bad by any means, only 7 rounds. Space Soldiers were able to do damage on their T-side is essentially what that's saying. So maybe at the halftime, Space Soldiers can give it a go, pull things back, but even then, Harry, even then, they need something to fall back on, and a 12-3, which is how it's starting to look now for NaVi, is not enough. And with the 10th round on the very, very likely horizon here for NaVi, because look at the buy that we have actually, 4 Space Soldiers, 1 M4. Things are looking rough, and rougher by the second.
Yeah, right now, this Space Soldiers defense is falling flatter than the earth. They are not looking too great. And that's going to be another round for NaVi. Up 10-3. It was just, you know, the 1 M4 and the pistols, so to be expected. Now this buy comes in the following round from the Space Soldiers, but they haven't really shown us too much with it just yet. They have just kind of been getting run over by NaVi thus far. I definitely anticipated this game being closer, though, than this. So I would like to see, you know, Space Soldiers, can they dig deep? Can they find that resilience? Obviously, you know, I wonder if them kind of, you know, this is their first game leaving the Space Soldiers organization. All right, Major.
What on earth is that shot? That's filth. I'd love a replay.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's wow. I mean, it still doesn't matter, Harry.
Yeah,
it's
right.
10-3.
That's like the bittersweet thing.
Yeah.
It's like, nice, dude. Well, cool.
You're getting absolutely dominated right now. We need someone to turn the tide. Maybe Major can be that man. He is, I think, top of the board for his team right now as well, which not to shame Major, but if he's top of the board, then where's Zentares? Where's Calyx? Where's Engine? Where are these guys? Zentares on 5 kills, Paz on 4 kills. Some lacking performances from that as Space Soldiers, and it is shining through. Electronic deep in the connector already, deep in middle. Got Flamey up in the palace this time, and Zeus is going to be lurking underpass. NaVi at no rush for this round, because if we look, we're just 30 seconds in, and where is the utility from Space Soldiers? 1 incendiary and 3 flashbangs is all that remains. Add in the fact that we don't have a kit, and retaking is now taken off the cards. Obviously, we kind of knew that considering how many rounds Space Soldiers have saved in this entire half. Probably most of them.
Yeah, and I think, you know, whenever you look at a side how to save so much like that, it just means that you're constantly getting bested in these opening fights, and there's no trades coming through, right? And that's one thing that we've seen over and over again, even with how NaVi were initially poisoning themselves to hit that B bomb site there. You had players trapped alone inside of the bomb site with no means of having those trades come in. Now this time at least, as NaVi changed their sights back here towards A, they've gone ahead and they've left 1 man to try and hold the fort. That's Engine. But you look at this, and while they do have the crossfire set up between jungle, when these smokes rain on in, that should be Engine left to his own devices. They're going to try and go into this dry, and as a result, Major gets caught out. Now the trade attempts to come through from Zentares. Engine and Paz manage 2 quick kills back as well. So we're into a 2-on-2. Potentially Space Soldiers find themselves a 4th round here. They still have a little bit more work left to do, though, and no kits, no utility, nothing to make it happen with.
And Simple's already on this angle. Calyx walks right into his own extinction. And Paz is going to be all that stands here for this soldiers from space, but NaVi are looking to send them back to orbit because this one is undoable. The time is already pretty much ticked and Simple's just not peeking. No one's taking any of these fights anymore for NaVi. So Paz, you can make them go down with the bomb buddy, but they've got almost max money. So NaVi don't give a damn and they're just wasting your time. Simple's running round and round and round and NaVi 11-3. This is the most dominant game we've had today. So far, I mean, we had the Astralis Nip 16-4. But that, even that felt closer.
Yeah, I mean,
because Nip had so many advantageous situations that they lost.
Not only that as well, right? It's just like Space Soldiers have 3 rounds, right? But you got to bear in mind they win the pistol, then they win the anti-eco as well. When it comes down to rifle rounds,
did they forget? Major didn't buy this round. It's last round and a half. He didn't have armor, and he had $2,000 left, and he just ran into middle and died.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at this point, Space Soldiers, their hearts, their minds, maybe not in it too much. You never know, or maybe just a simple mistake. Who knows? Can't read into stuff like that too much, but still a blunder nonetheless. As the great Henry Greer would say.
Why has he gone and done that?
You sound just like him, mate.
Oh, wow.
Could be a soundboard. Imagine that. Your whole life chalks up to being a Henry G soundboard. Ooh, well, here's Edward edging his way forward. He's going to go ahead and drop engine, continuing his reign of terror. And Edward, well, how's he got to done that? He's managed 3 quick kills in the A-bomb site, and it is just Paz left alive in a 1v2. We've seen him try and clutch in this exact same scenario before. This time he's got a Molotov and a nade. Try and make it happen with bombs planted out for CT, and he does spot a couple of players there. I think he gets the information that both of them are back in this position. The Molotov is perfect.
Okay. Edward gets flashed by his teammate, and Paz actually will win a duel. The problem is, again, lack of kit. The second he taps that bomb, Simple can instantly peek in, and there it is. There's Simple peeking. You don't want to fight that. Paz barely gets a second on this earth. NaVi have 12-3 that first half. That is a reckoning, Harry. That is a statement from NaVi. Considering this should be a good map for Space Soldiers.
Simple and Electronic is occupying, what, 31 of the kill? Well, 32 actually, as that kill comes in at the very end for Simple. So yeah, they make up 32 of the kills within this NaVi side. The rest of the guys, if you add up all of them, is what, 15? So yeah, they're doing an absolutely stellar job right now.
And the entirety of Space Soldiers have 43 kills. Whereas 2 players on NaVi have 31. That's pretty crazy. 32, sorry. Dear oh dear.
The numbers seem to be against the soldiers from outer space, but there's still the Counter-Strike could go their way, Hugo, because these guys, you know, they're good at digging deep. They've shown us the time and time again. They can certainly make magic happen. Can the Space Soldiers side? They're big fans. How you doing, mate?
I'm great. I'm better than Space Soldiers. However, not as good as the Org wiping their brow right now. No, that's a joke. So I feel like I need to clarify. it's only one map, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
this happens.
I do, you know, you do have to wonder right now that these Space Soldiers guys have left the Org. Are they going to be sticking together? What's the plan?
Oh yeah, surely, right?
I mean, you know, you say surely, right? But like,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised now that they're out of the Org if some offers came in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not questioning. Like, I'm not going to comment on the Org thing because I don't know enough about that. So I feel like it's a waste of time. But now that Space Soldiers aren't with an organization, they don't have buyouts. So anyone hypothetically offering enough money could certainly attract some of these players. Now, obviously, there's that big question of, okay, Xantares is English. How good is it? Is it good enough to play on an international team like a FaZe, like a Mousesports example, obviously, or even an NA team? That would be even more difficult, especially with everyone being native English speakers over there, or mostly so. Maybe the idea for someone like Calix, for example, even over on an NA team, I could see that being a fantastic addition. If we saw him on a North American team, you know, because as far as I'm aware, Calix is good English, but someone will need to confirm that. Either way,
I think he was normally one of the 2 people they got to do interviews, along with like Major, right?
Major. I mean, Major speaks like 8 languages.
Yeah, no, he's like more fluent in English than I am. Yeah, I think, which is just terrifying. But yeah, I don't know how people can do that. Are you
What?
bilingual?
Trilingual for Major. I think he speaks French as well, or he is partly French. Lives in France.
Yeah, there's just a lot. There's a lot of layers to this, Hugo. But
Yeah.
you know where else there's a lot of layers? Those odds. There's about 6 layers built up for Space Soldiers and 1.06 for NaVi. So it's pretty one-sided from the wonderful folks over at Betway. They're anticipating this is going to be a NaVi victory. Here comes this push. Electronic. He's down beneath the balcony right. Now he's able to get one, but that'll be it for him. The trades go left and right. Ultimately, though, it's going to be NaVi winning those out. And just Major, the man in question. He might speak multiple languages. That's not going to be enough to deflect that bullet from Simple. Sadly, it will be a 13th round for NaVi. And now I'm curious, how do we see the Space Soldiers side opt to approach this one?
I mean, anything but an eco is, in my opinion, the wrong call. They're already in a very, very dire spot in terms of actually not having many rifle rounds. But, like, here is the positive, right? In terms of comebacks now with this new loss bonus change, typically, this would be a double eco for Space Soldiers or a force buy, then an eco. And then by that point, NaVi are up to 15 rounds. Now, instead, NaVi get 14 rounds, and then Space Soldiers actually have a buy. So, you gotta look at on the plus side, comebacks are now far more possible. That's even more worrying for teams like Mouse Sports, who love throwing away leads. But yeah, Space Soldier's going to get a buy around here. Nice clean one from NaVi to, I was going to say build up confidence, but if you're not confident at a 14-3, I don't know what you are. So here's the buy for Space Soldiers, their last attempt in this map, Harry. Without this, we are probably going to be going on to our next series.
Yeah, well, let's wait and see with bated breath, Hugo. The Space Soldiers, boys, can they make this comeback happen? The flash over here into the top of mid as they try and take the fight to NaVi. The only issue being right now is that one sneaky boy indeed has snuck by the Space Soldiers down in mid. Well, Edward going to get spotted out, but look down towards lower tunnels. There's a man there right now. Edward flashed into position over here at short. Does actually fall prey to Major. Lurking through lower tunnels is going to allow them to grab this information that there's no one over in the apartments, and now they can look to try and continue on that flank and get that much more. Zeus now securing that frag, that late trade onto Major down in mid. Might even spot the man and connect it. Surely saw his little feet. He's given a few opportunities there. I do think he saw him. Continuing to push on in towards this A bomb site. Space Soldiers here knocking on the door of NaVi. There's Zentaras. He's certainly not knocking. He's bashed the door down and dropped Flamey in the process. The man advantage gained here for the Turks as that bomb plant does come in. Still in with a shot. Electronic going to go and wipe out Zentaras as he's flanked around into the back. 3v3 now.
Oh, that smoke gives him a bit of a chance to dive out to the bomb site as well. Simple's going to flash him out from the CT spawn. But that bomb plant's very, very closed in. NaVi could have stuck that defuse and maybe even won the round, but Simple's now going to get overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of Space Soldiers. And now that number reaches 4 on the scoreboard here as they do find their first buy into the half. That was, I mean, so important. Without that, this game is done. So Space Soldiers are giving themselves a lifeline, a leeway, an opportunity, Harry. And considering NaVi don't have full money coming into this 19th round, they might have to eco one more. Space Soldiers, they're going to get a chance to get some anti-eco frags, get a bit of a warm-up going. Start feeling this T-side. Make this one a reality. Smoke in the window actually allows Electronic to get boosted up as well. Flamey in the connector, and very close mid positions from NaVi, but Space Soldiers more than ready for it.
Yeah, they're looking to keep this round quick and clean and everything in between. Just Electronic and Simple left up. Now, these are not two easy players by any means to try and overcome, but only are with the Deeg between them. Simple still on the USP. Really don't fancy their odds into this round. It is going to be Space Soldiers finding themselves a 5th. The Simples rang the dinner bell. They know exactly where he is. Not going to let him get back into this game in any way. Or into this round, rather. So the comeback is well and truly on, Hugo. 5-14.
Oh, wow. There's no way that angle ever works, I don't think. Ooh. Oh, no, he jumped. Now they know where he is. I wanted to see if they would... like, I wonder if you can see through that from the other side enough that you can tell there's a player there. I actually don't know. I've never seen anyone do that, but... That's simple for you. Gives it a go. Optimistic at the very least. 14-5 now, Harry. Again, the problem is, again, when you're up against this kind of scoreline, if you're Space Soldiers, one mistake can cost you the map. And so that's why it's important to keep players alive in the rounds that you are winning, so you at least have money to fall back on if NaVi do find 15. So another 11 needed here for Space Soldiers if they want to win it in regulation. Again, those OT points here in Pro League don't exactly account for as many. And Simple, he doesn't want to let them get that far. He's already shut down that first on the B bomb site. This smoke has kind of covered him up and allowed them to get close, but they can barely get out the apartments. Edward cuts down one more. Major will hit his shot, but Simple's dropped the bomb. And that's a big opportunity now for Simple to try and find a little bit more damage, but he is eventually overwhelmed. And Major on the angle can win his duel. Zeus last alive, and he spotted Xantares on just 20 to make that 30 points of health. But Zeus does the dirty, and that'll be the round for NaVi. 15-5. And the IGL coming in clutch.
Yeah, there's still money though for Space Soldiers to try and keep the ball rolling here. They get rifles across the board and they're going to be feeling comfortable. You look at this buy on NaVi, you have 2 MP9s, AWP out for Simple. Still not the best of buys to get the job done, but faster play from the Space Soldiers as they go charging engine up here into the connector. Electronic on the other side of that smoke. Ooh. Timing. Flash on through. Engine gets caught. Now that's Electronic upgraded onto a rifle as well. This push continuing from the Space Soldiers side, and Paz leading the charge. Does decapitate Flamey, but Electronic instantly able to trade, and Major and Calyx left in this 2v3. Calyx still emerging from the connector. Does get spotted by Simple. An uncharacteristic miss, and Calyx won't be so lucky that second time around. So now just Major 1v3.
Does have the bomb on his back though. That's one positive, because NaVi, they've yet to send the player down towards this B site. Zeus is on that hot flank through the underpass, so he's going to hear all these footsteps, which allows for the full rotate. But Major still has the opportunity to bomb plant here. Not going to take it because he's got all the time in the world. And Simple's going to spot him. That'll be 12 rounds there for 2 kills for Simple and 16 rounds there for NaVi. They take the victory in this second map of these 2 best of ones. And yeah, Space Soldiers not able to get it back in the T side. They had a bit of a beginning after winning that rifle round, but it only took them so far, Harry.
Yeah, and a good opening couple of games for NaVi as they initially go 2-0 in their first few matches here at the Pro League, so they can't be too disappointed with that one. We're going to go ahead and start to throw this one back over there to Chad and Trace as they hope to break this one down.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. Thank you a lot, gentlemen. You're always on your game. I don't know about the A game, but they're doing some game.
Some kind of game.
Definitely on the A stream, I can tell you that. Yes, NaVi and Space Soldiers have wrapped this up. Of course, 2 maps, both of which kind of a landslide affair.
Definitely so, and you know what we learned? The SMGs aren't dead. We did see them come out from NaVi after they won the pistol round on that CT side. They brought in the SMGs and they really farmed up that cash. I think that puts more emphasis or amplifies the importance of those weapons on that round, because if they don't get the kills, and say the M4s do, the kill bonus won't trickle across and you won't be able to upgrade. That's why we saw the AWP come in so early, because Simple was able to farm a bit of money there. But Trace, turns out a groundbreaking invention is taking a break and then playing Counter-Strike, a little bit like the shovel.
Yeah,
but
that wasn't bad.
You didn't like that one?
Great,
that one was
honestly,
better. I'm
Chad.
working on my dad jokes still.
You can do much better than that. I wish you wouldn't
Groundbreaking
try.
invention, like the shovel. Do you get it?
Listen, Chad, let's just let that one kind of go away where you got it from. Either way, yes, it's 100% confirmed that NaVi are, in fact, undefeated tonight. But again, there are some more matches for them coming up. I think we do have them versus NIP.
Well, it's surprising, right, that Space Soldiers were, considering you basically called them onliners without calling them onliners.
I never said that.
Not putting up a fight against NaVi, who looked very good. They looked clean. It didn't look like a flustered NaVi in the sense of they were relying a lot on individual plays. You know, we did have individuals stepping up in key rounds, but that's Counter-Strike. This wasn't just a carry performance by the Stars. It was them playing some very well-rounded Counter-Strike. So when you take a break and you come back into it, it gives you a chance to step back and reflect. And that's like Mouse Sports wish they did before they picked up Snacks for $290,000.
Is that it? Just a small 290 grand.
That's rumored to me.
Yikes, is what I think the young Harry would say in the situation. Yeah, that's a pretty rough one, a pretty rough pill to swallow if you are a Mouse Sports fan. But I guess within this lineup, within the teams that we have been talking about, NaVi, right now looking pretty pretty much like cruise control.
It's great to kick off the road to Odense with 2 big victories, right? They do have to play again against NIP very soon. But we did see NIP lose a map to that of Astralis, and they were able to pick up the secondary map of Train. So that's maybe one solace there for the Ninjas. But NaVi are looking very good right now, and I think the 2 warm-up games flowing into the next matchup, their form will carry through, and at least their discipline should as well, because I hate pushing this point so much, but when you are in the early stages of the season, sometimes I think that these games matter more, because these are the ones that come back to haunt you if you drop the ball. Now, to be fair, the Ninjas in Pajamas versus the NaVi game, at least these are 2 teams who are put on closer, I guess in the pecking order, they'd be closer to one another than we would with, say, like a Wendigo or an Ago. And we do have Ago going on in that B stream, I believe, Trace. I'm not quite sure what that score was, but they were playing big, and I know you're a big fan of that German squad.
I'm a huge fan. Let's take a look at those numbers, Chad. What are you thinking?
Well, here we go. They've just popped on up, and you can see on the secondary stream that Big did take the first map of Train 16-9 and the second map of Dust 2. That's starting to get a little bit more play. I was a bit worried that it wasn't going to be as, I guess, as played as much, because it's down towards the bottom of most of the team maps kind of records of playing, right? You know, it's taking a long time to get established in the meta. I thought it would happen quicker considering Dust 2 was so popular in the past, but at least we're getting there in the online scenes. We're seeing it a bit more.
Which is kind of nice. But of course, I think Dust 2 is always going to be one of those maps where in which these teams can kind of rely on it having been there for so long. They have so much experience on what is Dust 2 overall in the terms of competitive Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
it's kind of a staple.
It felt like teams forgot when I first saw it getting played. Like all the protocols that you'd have in place, the contingencies for rotation, the theory side of Counter-Strike, it didn't seem like it was there. They're starting to get, you know, maybe teething issues. That is 7 maps in the pool. That is a lot to remember. And with the new one coming in, it doesn't really matter what map it is. It could have been, you know, anything. They're still going to have to relearn the intricacies, especially with the new players coming up the ranks. There's some players that maybe didn't even get a chance to play too much Dust 2 in the competitive realms, considering how many pure CSGO players we're getting nowadays, Trace.
Pure CSGO players, which is a kind of a weird thought, isn't it, Chad?
Zywoo. Who are the other young guns? Brolan, he's now apparently going to get signed for Fnatic.
And even some of the not-so-new players, we're talking major champions. You could even go and say the stretches of a Stu2K is a pure CSGO player.
Yeah, you know, I think that these kind of guys, they don't have any predisposition to the old parts of CS. People may not really understand what I'm saying, but let's just look at a small version of the game called 1.6. If you were to jiggle pick a corner like you do in CSGO, what would happen in 1.6 is you would get spammed through the wall, because you actually wall bang a lot more. There's a lot more penetration with the rifles. You have to think about Source. Okay, the one-waying of smoke grenades, you know, using those and running and gunning a lot more than you can in CSGO. Those meta changes, those mechanical changes, the same which gets stuck in your head. And me as a player who's been playing now for 15 years, I still have little things that I remember that used to work for me in other games that kind of trickle into my play nowadays.
Yeah, and your play being that of 4 stars on matchmaking, you know, it's kind of what we expect for you to have there. Either way, we're not going to be talking about that one game where in which Chad found successes in the likes of, I believe it would have been ESL 1 Cologne. Is that right?
2015 against Titan on Mirage.
Does it ever die, Chad?
Nah, it's my living legacy.
In fact, the legacy that we're going to continue with here is ESL Pro League Season number 8. We're going to continue down the stretches of day number 5. We got some more matches here for you as we go further into the evening. We got Not Sincere taking on the likes of the Ninjas in Pajamas, and they're not hiding it anymore. They're here to play, and today could be their day. This could be a clash of titans across 2 maps of Mirage Inferno, but we're going to be seeing it when we come back from this break. So make sure you don't go anywhere, because we'll be right here with you.